I actually went into a Target store not realizing that my hat was sticking up. I got all the way to the pharmacy and started just really weird look from the pharmacist. And then I realized that the hat was meant to be worn like that. And so that's my story about hats. More back, yeah, there goes the bald spot. More about what family members can and should not do, what they can do to help, and what they should not do to try to help. It's an extremely tough thing, as I pointed out in the previous little clip. Most families that breed this kind of dysfunction, there was, for me, again, the predisposition, and then there was the actual actions of the environment. So, as imagine the actions and environment of a dysfunctional family, which mine was, that you're going to have a lot more problems with OCD, depression, panic, and anxiety. And again, what can the family do? Don't shut the person out. Don't shut the person out. There's a very famous religious guy who sold 300 billion books, and all during this period, his son had mental illness, Matthew. And they said, well, we tried to go over and visit him. You got to do more than try to go over and visit. He said he went to every doctor and every psychologist. I don't believe it, but that's what he said anyway. So you have to do more than try to go over and visit. You have to ask the person, well, what's a good time to visit? What's a good time to arrange a desensitization exercise? How can I help you? Can we get in the car? My therapist once got in the car with me, which is kind of a scary thought, but he did it for the desensitization purpose using humor. And he would go by and we'd pass a guy on the sidewalk, and he said, you just killed him. Well, that's all right. He was a drug dealer anyway. Or we'd come up to another car and come close to it, and he said, you just scratched the whole rear fender of that car. It's going to cost hundreds of dollars to fix, and now you're running away from it. He did that comment for an hour, and eventually it worked. It got through. I stopped the notes, and I stopped a lot of the phobic stuff that I had. That's probably the last stronghold of OCD, but, makes me walk more, don't have a car, and that's just, I can't afford it anyway. But to instead of tell them, ask them what you want to do, what they want to do. Ask them, is it going to be difficult? Ask them to share their feelings while you're actually doing a exposure event. Don't call it an exposure event. Try to go to a baseball game and sit on an aisle seat and see how you react to that. And if it's too much, then you just lost $20. That's it. A therapy session is $90, and I'm on Medicaid, so it's $2 for me. But I don't know. There's so many things I want to say. I want to talk about the whole recovering Catholic thing, and I guess that'll wait to the next video, which will be the first video that you see.